Hi guys, it's Mia. You don't know how it's gonna be with your child. I didn't know about anything about Colombia, about how the people study, about how the kids study and all that stuff. My first child, Jason, he was already finished first grade in Korea. So I needed to move him to the second grade. This is exactly very hard for foreigners because first thing, he doesn't know Spanish at all. But you have to go to the class that the kids already speak Spanish, they're already learning Spanish, they're already writing Spanish. I was very worried about this, about that. Is he gonna do great in this class, or is better to go to the first grade? And then if it's possibility to, when you come back to Korea, go to the grade that he is supposed to go. And first time it was very hard. I think he cried a little bit about that. It's very hard because he needs to write a lot. But we had experience because I already used to study with him and used to teach him a little bit Spanish and a little bit Duolingo sometimes. He had played with this, so he kind of know what is this. He kind of little bit understand the speaking, how the people speak. And the point of this, I want to say that we using the program. The program is called Unjing, and there is a super part English in there. So, cause I cannot teach my children English, but I can teach the other kids. But now with your children, it's impossible. Even if you are very, very great teacher in the whole world, but you cannot teach your children because they see you as a mother. They don't see you as a teacher. That was my problem of teaching him. That's why I decided to buy this program. And this program in Korea you are using for 2-3 years, and you're paying for iPad, and actually they don't have some kind of like kids YouTube or something, or Korean, so you can use only English program in there. I started with this program when he was 4 years old, I think so, and he is very great at writing and knowing what letter is it. So it was the same letters with the Spanish and English, so for him it was a little bit simple for writing. But now it's already 6 months he's studying, I think 5 months, yeah. Now he's very good at school. I mean, he's trying his best. And when I saw the numbers of how your child is very good at school or something else, I was surprised to see instead of 5, a 4 in English. And I was like, how is it possible? It's like you're better in Spanish than in English. It's, oh my goodness. And with 6 months, he a little bit speaks Spanish and a little bit now understand English because we are using English in our family with my husband and with all communication. I think sometimes we use a little bit Spanglish, Spanish and English together. And sometimes I'm trying to teach my husband a Korean language and a little bit like mixed sometimes. And the second child, he has a little bit difficult with Spanish, but he understands, but no can speak many. Or sometimes he coming to me and saying like, how do I speak? How do I say this? How do I say that? But he knows. But I think he is a little bit afraid of speaking. I think this is gonna be, I think 6 months or 7 months more for the second child for learning more because he is still 5 years old. Living here in Colombia, I'm gonna tell you that in the school there is too many days of fiesta. I don't know how to explain in English, like vacations, red days, something like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Grandfather's Day, Teacher's Day, the Day of Colombia, the Day of Santa Maria, the Day of like a lot of the Day of the Candle, and sometimes the teachers say like I want to rest, or they have some kind of their problems, and it's like tomorrow no school. And for me this information is like tomorrow no school, and I'm like, ¿cómo? How is it supposed to be? Like how is supposed to, what we're supposed to do? What if the people are having the job or having something, they have to go to work? Where they are going to be to keep these children, In Korea, you cannot imagine this, that if teachers say like, oh, tomorrow no school, can't go like with this. They have one teacher in the school or in the kindergarten on somewhere that can change with that teacher that didn't come. And the other teacher is going to teach your child or take care of your child while the other teacher is resting or having some problems, I don't know. But the point of this, that there is no days that you, like, they can say like, tomorrow no school, tomorrow no come to kindergarten or something like this. I cannot imagine this in Korea. No, can imagine. Or tomorrow, can you come a little bit early or something like this? This is very hard for me because my mind is like, and in the kindergarten in Korea, the second child, he was in kindergarten until 7:30, I think, p.m. And he already eating there in the mornings, in the lunchtime, in the evening time, so I don't have to care about this. Sometimes just coming home a little bit snacks or something like that. And the first child, he went to the school, and after school there was a small boss of the taekwondo that was getting my child from the school, getting to taekwondo, and after taekwondo like 1 hour and a half, and he was at home at 3 p.m. I think so. But here in the school, the kids going to the school at 7 a.m. This is one of the shocking news that I was still I can't understand. And how is you have to wake up at 6 a.m. and you have to go to the school, because in Korea, if he's going to the kindergarten, you go, I think it's 8:45. They are going little by little go to the kindergarten. Though you can see the teachers, they're coming. It's only boss already in the kindergarten who can get the children if they come really fast, because the parents, they have to go to the work. And sometimes some of the small kindergarten, they even say you, can you come at 9:30? And can you come at 9:40, por favor, like please. Okay, but I didn't send my children to these kindergartens, only to the national, the government kindergarten, and there you can send them from 8 a.m. but not earlier. It's something else. And when you go to the school, it's 8:45. Start I think all schools in Korea. And now I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to like 6:30, okay, to prepare my children to go to the school. And this is one of the hardest thing I had experienced while being here in Colombia. And I still don't understand how you can just tomorrow no school, or a vacation, or one more vacation. And today he went to the school, and today my husband say tomorrow no school, like only for Jason. ¿Por qué? Like why is only for Jason? The Jason teacher had some problems, and that's why like all week he had no school. But do you have any other replacement of the teacher there? Or why no? No have? You go and tell. You can teach the children if you want to. Okay, this is blowing on my mind. And the other stuff that I want to say, that I don't see here a lot of places that you can buy a lot of books, for the kids. There is no many stores of the books for kids, how to learn, how to do all that stuff. You have to go to the commercial centers and try to find the stores there, or you have to go to the big markets to find some books. A little bit no, not a little bit. They are very expensive, I will tell you. Because in Korea you can find a book for $8 or $7, but here it's like $45, $40 for the book, and it's like so thin. You don't even. I don't want to buy this. I had experience because we had this program of Unjin, $55 per month. They send you the books, they send you the workbooks, they send you a lot of stuff that you can read the books online. That's why my children, they have no problem with Korean, because I paid it for years, and now every day they can read the books in Korean online. And there is about more than 5,000 of books in this iPad. So they studying every day. They have study of every day they have to do. I think 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but they already know how to write Korean, they already know how to read Korean. And my first child, Jason, he is really good at reading some of the books, and later explaining me what he read. Sometimes he explaining me with some kind of expressions about this, exactly the same like it was in the book. And I'm very proud of it, because first time I was really regret about this is many money, because you cannot cancel this program. For example, if you're signed for 2 years, you have to sign it for 2 years. If you just cancel it in the middle, you have to pay for the months that you didn't use. And for the iPad that they give you for free and all of the stuff, and the prices is more higher than you can buy, for example, in normal way of any of markets online. And first time I was really regretting about this, but later living abroad, like not living in Korea, I thinking about it. This was very good idea to have this iPads, because all of them having Korean lessons, having English lessons exactly at home. They don't need to go to Korean school, and they have all the programs that they are using in the Korean school. And now we have no problem with the Korean, and we have more hours using in the Spanish school. So now they are learning more Spanish, more English and Korean in one time, so I can be a little bit not worried about this. And these days I try to replace some kind of books for working books for my kids, and I try to make a book for my second child, Johnny, because he needs to start to writing, and writing in the iPads is good idea, but you know that for a real experience you have to write it on the paper with a real pencil, and nothing can replace this. So you have to have the pencil, you have to write the Korean in the real life, you know, in the real paper with the real pencil. And I decided that if I can buy the books from Korea and send it here because it's very expensive, I decided to make my own book with the ChatGPT, and it works. It works very good, and I'm still working on it, but this is very good. Now he writing, and he loved my book, and he loved what I do, and I'm very happy and proud of it. So we have no problem with this education, I think so. These days I start to watching the drama, and the drama is the 참교육. This drama is about teach you a lesson in English, teach you a lesson, yeah. And this drama about the situation in Korea, about the schools, about the bullying of the teachers, about the bullying from the parents, and the bullying for the kids. And I'm understanding this so much, and now I can a little bit realize the big difference, you know, when my child going to the Spanish school and when he went to the Korean school. First thing that he was saying to me, that they are too much lovely to him, like they're hugging, they're touching him. It's like, how is it possible in the school to hug me? Sometimes like the girls say they can kiss him like in the, here in the cheeks, like, oh Jason, I love you, blah blah blah. But it cannot be happening in Korea. If you do this, you will be educated to not touch the person, to not handle the hands, you cannot touch the clothes, you cannot hugging, you cannot kissing. It's obviously you cannot do all of this stuff in Korea. It's like you are the person who are supposed to be like, you know, in the cave, because if you will touch the girl, you can have the problem in the school. This is gonna be very, very difficult for you. And I'm thinking about that this is very good in Korea, but for me as a mother of the two boys, they are boys, I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult for them in the future to have some conversation, to go in like, hey girl, can I get your number or something like this, you know. But this is only my opinion. You know, I'm thinking that the more huggings and touching each other is normal with the kids because they are the kids. If it was more higher school, like there was more than 13, 12 years old, I would understand that. But when they are very small, it's a little bit, I don't like this. And the one thing I want to say, that the kids in Colombia, they are very happy. They are, you know, have a lot of energy, of love and friendship with each other. And when they see my son today after vacation, and I saw them like, Jason, we love you, oh my God. It was so happy to see him, very happy to see his friends. Would never be happening in Korea, because when he goes in Korea, they don't have this reaction. They don't have this of huggings, of love, or everything, because all mothers, they are deciding who are you going to meet, who are you going to be a friend. This is a little bit, I want to skip that part and live a little bit longer in Colombia for this, for having my children have very good memories about the school. I think this is very good experience to living here with this. And the other stuff that I want to say, as an English teacher, I have this thing that the parents, they don't have that stuff, like, you know, hey teacher, I don't want you touch my child, I don't want you to do something to my child. They are very friendly. The teachers are very friendly. They are more like a friends to you, and you know, you cannot do this here because they're gonna say, okay, you cannot go to school if you don't want to. Like, oh my God, it's better that you have even this teacher in the school, because you don't have the replacement of this teacher. You cannot say nothing to these children. I mean, they do their best. They are very good teachers here. They're very friendly, they're very lovely. They're trying to keep these kids like a family. I see all the time how they hugging, how they loving each other, and all the time the hugs and kisses for my children. I see this love. I see these things that could never happen in Korea. Never. I will never see this in Korea. Yes, of course, there is sometimes you can see the teachers like, oh, they like bye bye, like hugging, but it's just like so little bit babies, like 2 years old, 3 years old, because they still don't understand that they have to go after this good woman who was sitting with me all day, and they have to go to the mom who they don't know. Like, they don't know her only on the weekends, like weekend mom, and every day with this teacher. And I think the 90% of what was in this drama is the real. If you ever see this drama, you will understand my feelings about the Korean school and about the Korean education, and living in Colombia is a little bit still shocking for me with all of this stuff. About this experience as an English teacher in Korea, that I had many bullyings from the parents, I had many bullyings from the personnel that was working with me. I even had depression for 3 months. I was curing in the psychotherapy after this all of hell stuff that I was experienced by teaching in the English kindergartens in Korea. Ask me a lot of comments right here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching my video. Bye bye.